dedication is getting up at 4 a.m. Well, actually I woke up at 3:30 a.m. and sitting here at 5 a.m. to film a video. And I truly don't know why I do this to myself. Hello and welcome. We're starting today with no makeup because I will be doing a full brand review today of Charlotte Tilbury. So that is basically the second part of this series. So let's dive into it. And what we're going to do is I try to use as many Charlotte Tilbury products as possible and talk you a bit through the brand, through the range, what I think about the products, like giving mini reviews, and of course telling you something about the brand and the person itself. And just like in the Izamaya video, I did not memorize everything. I basically just wrote it down here so that I have a cheat sheet. A cheat sheet, oh, that's kind of cute. First of all, I have to admit that I do have a lot of Charlotte Tilbury products, so we can use a lot of shit today. But I also decluttered a lot of stuff in the past year or so, but we're also going to talk about that. But let me just count through what I currently have from Charlotte Tilbury. So if I did not forget anything, I am at kind of 35 different Charlotte Tilbury products, and that does not include like pans, like the face palettes I counted as one item. I never really thought about the fact that Charlotte Tilbury also has face primers. Like the Hollywood Flawless Filter to me is not a face primer. It's an underglow painting face primer. That's a difference for me. But I just have the website here, and she has, for example, the Wonder Glow. And yes, I tried the Wonder Glow. I had a tester of it and I absolutely hated it. It pilled as fuck on me, but I'm not sure, like, you know, pilling usually means that the product you're using is not working fine with what you have already on your face. So probably it's a great product because every time I see her using that in the videos, I'm like, oh, that looks so good. But it doesn't work with my skincare, so I'm just not bothering it. But she also has the Invisible UV Flawless Poreless Primer and the Unisex Healthy Glow. Never heard of that. Well, of the Invisible Primer, yes, I heard, but I never tried that. So Charlotte Tilbury herself as a person was born February 10th in 1973, so that means she is 50 now. Which is a bit surprising to me, and I don't want to come off rude. I think she looks older. I don't know what it is, but something just make her appear older than she is, because my mom is 51 and she looks younger than her, but yeah, I just try to use this as my mirror, like, oh, it's so early in the morning. But you know, that could be just like misinterpretation, because I never saw Charlotte Tilbury in real life. I can only judge from what I see on Facebook, from what I see on Instagram and TikTok. And there she appears a bit older, but you know what? That's also fine. Like, that's not a bad thing. So she does not have a pot concealer, so I'm using the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. And can we please talk about how good my face has been now? Like, remember all of the shit that I had couple videos ago, and that's like nearly gone at this point. So what I will do now is I will do the first half of my eye makeup, and then I will come back for the complexion stuff, because for my eye makeup I will be using the Glaminatrix Into the Night palette, and if you want to see the look that I create, this will be up on my Instagram and TikTok. Spoiler alert, that palette is fire. So besides makeup, before we start with that, Charlotte Tilbury has also skincare. One of the few skincare items that I actually really like, or no, it's the only one. It's really the only one that I like. This is the Magic Lip Oil Crystal Elixir. Pretty sure she has also a tinted version of that, but it's mainly a very nourishing, hydrating lip oil. And I love to use products like that before I start my makeup. Now we're going in with the first real makeup item, and that's the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I'm using the shade 1 Fair, and this is actually my second bottle. This product really had some controversies going on when it launched, because nobody really thought, what the fuck is this? To me, this is what I always call a underpainting glow primer. That means I use this between primer and foundation, because this gives a very subtle glow. You can use this as foundation alone, but to me this is like senseless. What I can imagine even more is using this as a like liquid highlighter. That would make absolute sense to me. But I don't think that this is a foundation. I also don't think that this is a primer, let alone, because this does nothing for your skin. A primer to me is an item that does something good for the skin that is more than just visible, you know. For example, the Tom Ford primer that I used, this does prolong the wear of my makeup. It is what it is. The Ritual, the Fee Thorn Oil, this does, first of all, for whatever reason, does this also prolong the wear time of my makeup, but it also makes foundation stick better. The Hollywood Flawless Filter does nothing but giving you glow, so this is something just visible. But I like it. It's a very, very subtle glow. Because it is slightly tinted, it does even out a bit, but to me this is like nothing I would not even call this a skin tint. It is just not. I have to say though, the first bottle of this I did not even use up completely because it went rancid after 1.5 years. And this one is like 3 months old. And it already starts smelling a bit funny. And another, like, it wouldn't be a video for myself if I had not a point of critical view on this. The packaging is garbage. And I'm not talking about the glass bottle, I'm talking about this. You see that? The print is coming off. Like the golden letters, and at some point this on the front will also come off and you will have that stick to you. You know what? Never mind. I don't know if you can tell, but I already have it on my finger. Like the little red dots, it's somewhere from the front packaging. That's just an absolute no-go, and by the end of the video we are going to talk about this issue a bit further. So the brand has 3 different foundations, and I have to read that off the website because I will not memorize that. She has the Light Wonder foundation, like matching to the primer. This is light coverage. Then there is the Airbrush Flawless foundation. This is full coverage. And then you have the middle part, the Beautiful Skin foundation. This is the first and only foundation that I have from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, I'm also using One Fair in this, and you can see like I have used quite a bit out of this because I personally enjoy this foundation. I saw the videos, I saw the critique, I saw the reviews on this, what a bad foundation this is and that it looks fuzzy on a lot of people, but it's not in my top 3, like a ranking of other foundations will come. So let me just look up what place that is. So thinking about the fact that I will rank 28 different foundations that I'm having here, this is number 18 at this moment. Why at this moment? Because there are 2 foundations that I haven't tested yet and I want to test them like before I rank everything and just put them in the list too. But this is just a solid good foundation, summer and winter. I really like it, and even though the fair shade looked a bit yellow dark in the packaging, it kind of blends into the skin very, very beautiful. I even want to say that I do not have to go over this with a sponge, but I always do, so I will do here so. And while I do this, let me tell you something about Charlotte Tilbury as a person. I think I mentioned it already, but she was born February 10th, 1973. Yeah, I mentioned that already, but I did not mention where. She was born in London, and apparently as all of the great women of makeup that I personally admire, she's London-based. You know, Isamaya is also born not in London. Was she born in London or England? But she's working in London. Lisa Eldridge is, I think, also London-based. I'm not too sure about that, but I think it's the England thing. Like, all of these beautiful women in the makeup industry that I love are coming from England. That has to say something. And apparently, what I didn't know, she lived the first 13 years of her life in Spain before she moved back to London. So that's, I don't know, it's kind of interesting, I think, because that's just something I never knew because nobody ever talks about that. She went to the Glauca Rossi, I think it's the name, School of Makeup, and is married with the producer George Wand, I think since 2014, and they do have 2 kids, which I also didn't know because, you know, when you just see things from Charlotte Tilbury, and I know I'm blending like there's no tomorrow, it's just about the makeup. It's never about her as a person. So it took me a while to research that like further than just Wikipedia. So I'm now going in with the under eye corrector in Fair, and that, you see, I have hit pan on already because I like it so much. And I use it on a daily basis, to be honest, because I just enjoy the look of it a lot. You don't need much though, so I don't know, you can barely tell that I have that on. And I blend that out. In her line, Charlotte has also two concealers. First of all is the Magic Away concealer, which is probably the worst concealer in the history of makeup. And very new to her edition is the Beautiful Skin Concealer. I think this came out this year. Or was it by the end of last year? Somewhere like that. But I have the shade 1 and the shade 2.5. I can surprisingly wear both, so we are going to apply both. So I'm using the 2.5 shade on the outer part of the under eye area, and the shade 1, which is distinctly more white, on the inner part. Everything in the brand Charlotte Tilbury is like organized by like lines. You have the, for example, Beautiful Skin line, then you have the Airbrush line. You also had the Magic Away line. I think there was a loose powder in there that was probably very, very bad, because I saw some old reviews where people were like mainly complaining about the scent of this powder. But then you also have everything that is like Pillow Talk, which is like the iconic shade of Charlotte Tilbury. So while I blend out the concealer, let me tell you just something more about her as a person. And from my researches, I found out that she basically started assisting Mary Greenwell, who is also a very iconic makeup artist. That she met her when she was 11, actually in the States, and later on, as I said, she started as her assistant, which she called Mary Greenwell later on as her like biggest influence on makeup and her like mentor. And fun fact, Lisa Eldridge was also there. Like, I don't know if that was the same time, probably not, but Mary Greenwell was also a mentor to Lisa Eldridge. So you see, she's fucking great influence, because look at Lisa Eldridge and her success. She's like also one of the biggest makeup artists in this world, with one of the most exciting like brands, even though the whole vibe of Lisa Eldridge is not what I like, but I apparently I love to consume that. Like, I don't use everything, but I love to consume that. What I did not know, in October 2012, Charlotte Tilbury had a YouTube channel. Like, is that selective? I didn't research that, but she had the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty YouTube channel and a blog that was called Charlotte's Beauty Secret, where she basically talked about makeup and skincare, which I think is like, this is such a nice way to start out. I love that. Like, when you have just this passion for makeup, you not only want to work with people in makeup, you want to talk to everybody about this. When it comes to bronzer and contour, Charlotte Tilbury is known for one particular item, and that's the contour wand. The contour wand is an item that last year I actually had in my declutter bag, but then I brought it back because I wanted to try this one last time with a different brush. And if you struggle with this contour wand, I highly recommend trying, for example, the Fenty 125 face brush. This is a very dense angled brush that is perfect for liquid contour. I used the contour wand with this. I used the Made by Mitchell contour shade with that. I used the Tarte Sculpt tape with that. It's just perfect for that. But she also has a bronzer, and that is again in the Beautiful Skin line. This is the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. This is like a huge motherfucker. This has a great value, because this, let me just look it up on the website. This retails for €52, but you get 21 grams of product. Like, this will last you forever. And at the same time, oh, I just got a notification on my phone. At the same time, I see people like my friend Jen, or I don't know, it was somebody else that I saw on Instagram. They have pans in this. How the fuck do you pan this? It's impossible. For cream bronzers like this, I love to use fluffy, flat, half-dome brushes. Like this one is from Be Perfect, the Be Perfect X Stacey Marie 2.6. And all you need to do, I have cat hair on my brush, all you need to do is like just go over it like that, and then the brush is very, very lightly coated because this is pigmented. And then you just go in and bronze up the face. In my opinion, the shade Fair is like the perfect mix of bronzer and contour. Personally, I don't make a difference. I don't do both. I do one of them and both just work fine. A couple of days ago, I saw a video from a German YouTuber who's called Claudia, and she decluttered the bronzer and said like this is the worst thing she ever used, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry for you that this doesn't work for you, because this is truly a piece of makeup history. If there is one item that Charlotte Tilbury is known for, it's the blush wands. I do have one of the blush highlighting wands, that is Pink Gasm, but there's also Peach Gasm and Pink Gasm Sunset. And I have 3 out of the 4 shades of the matte blush wands. These, in my opinion, are the best blush items that Charlotte Tilbury has to offer. They are just so good. There is also a peach pop, but I'm not a peach blush girl. Besides these wands, she also has cream blushes in a pan. These are called the Lip and Cheek Glows. I've never tried these, and I also don't have any interest in trying them. But if you're interested in them, like, there are a lot of videos in the YouTube space of people who try them, and they do actually really love them. So if you don't like liquid blushes in that kind of format, maybe the cream blushes are the way to go for you. And I will go in with the matte blush wand in Pillow Talk today, and it's the sponge applicator. People hate this. I don't mind it. I like it. I really do. So what I do is I take 2 dots like this, and then I go in with the Rare Beauty blush brush and blend them out. And I always blend the blush also up to the temple. Basically in like that area. Now let's talk about the highlighting wands. This one is Pillow Talk and this is Spotlight. The Pillow Talk shade was actually re-released last year. She had that already. It sold out in minutes. And this is the newer release of that. Both are beautiful. Spotlight is a more golden highlight, while Pillow Talk is more pink, and we're going to use Pillow Talk today. I have to admit that the packaging on the blush wands is not the best, because just look at this. Like, most of this is just a waste, because even when these are new, you can squish them and put all the product up to like this end. But it's 12, is it 12? Yeah, you get 12 milliliters in that. People call Charlotte Tilbury a scammer for having this packaging and not enough product. There is enough product in there. It just would, the proportions would be completely off if she cut off the packaging. And I think that's like the only way this works for this type of product. And you're not getting scammed. It's like with potato crisps. There is like air in the bag to keep them fresh. Here's air in the bag to keep the blush fresh. Or the highlighter. So to set my under eyes now, I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. Is it flawless? No, the Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish. Again, a product from the Airbrush line. And this one is also new. This came out together with the concealer last year. And it's basically a translucent powder. There is, I think, a second shade in the brightening ones. Not too sure about that. And there's also, like, this is basically an addition, because you can get this powder also in a colored version. That colored one I recently just decluttered. You will see that in my end of July declutter and empties, because I tried everything for 1.5 years to make this powder work, but I'm just not here for it. On my face, it makes dry patches, and on the under eyes, it oxidizes any concealer that I have, so it had to go. And the brightening one, I mean, this is gold. This is something I highly recommend from the brand. They are so good. So I will now finish the rest of the eyes, and then I will come back for the rest of the face. This looks actually screams for liner. So Charlotte Tilbury has in her line also different eyeliners. Let me show you which ones I got. So first of all, of course, there is a Pillow Talk liner. This is a blendable, long-lasting liner. I actually really like them. This is not like a full size that I used up. This is just a mini that I got in a set, and they will last forever. She also has these double-sided eyeliners, and the shade I have is Copper Charge. These come with a metallic side and the matte side, and they are awesome. I really want to get more of these, but they're quite expensive. And the newest one in my collection is actually a Rock and Coal. And I never tried the Rock and Coal, so let's apply that to this eyelid because I think a black liner could match. This is, by the way, the shade Bedroom Black, and what I think the most disturbing is that this is a kohl pencil liner, but it says Iconic Liquid Eye Pencil. So let's see what happens. Because this look is quite dark, I do line my upper waterline a bit and also the lower waterline. Oh wow, that was easy. The texture is a lot like the Pat McGrath Permagel. That is my favorite black liner. Charlotte Tilbury also has a real liquid liner on the website. Again, a lot of these duo liners, and what else? Oh, that's it. That's basically it. So let me just tell you that the Rock and Coal one that we just used, that is €27. A double-sided liner is €29, and the Feline Flick, which is a real like black eyeliner, is €30, and the Pillow Talk Crystal Dimension liner, which is, by the way, so beautiful, but I never use products like that, is €32. So as I said, it's quite expensive, but I really enjoy it. So since I don't have a face powder from Charlotte Tilbury, I'm using the Milk Makeup, what's it called? The Blue Set. This is discontinued, unfortunately, so I love this powder, but you can't get it anymore. So the brand Charlotte Tilbury itself was founded in 2013 with the name Charlotte Tilbury Ltd, and it was a department, like a counter in Selfridges at first. And that brand was so successful at that time that the first flagship store, I think it was also in London, opened 2015. Now in 2023, like 10 years after she founded the brand has such a big popularity level all over the world. It's insane. And my personal opinion is that this has to do with TikTok. If we did not have COVID, if we didn't have lockdown and people be bored and going on TikTok and making things viral, like they basically renewed the definition of viral over there, Charlotte Tilbury would not be so popular. Like I said it in another video already, Charlotte Tilbury went from being an iconic and a well-known makeup brand in the makeup industry and the makeup world to a person and brand that even my husband knows, and he's the one that I have to remind how to put on sunscreen the right way. So I truly think that just with this like viral journey that the brand had because of COVID and TikTok, we are at the point of Charlotte Tilbury that we are now. It's just because of that. Convince me, but I don't think you have any arguments against that. I'm doing now my brows, and she has brow products. Like there is a brow pencil in the line, a brow gel. The brow gel, to be honest, I never used, so I can't tell you anything about that, but I used to have the brow pencil. And that one was garbage. Like, I don't know what it was, but it looked so awful on me. Especially the shade, and I think it was like Pillow Talk in the brow pencil, but we don't need Pillow Talk in the brow pencil, let's be honest. What I personally like about the brow pencil is actually that they are refillable. So you buy like the whole component once, and then you can buy refills all the time. You know, I'm guilty myself. TikTok really got me sucked into Charlotte Tilbury, and there was a point in 2021 and 2022 kind of, was it? No, it was only 2022, where I was on the hunt for every Charlotte Tilbury product, and I used to own 6 or 7 of the quads. I had 8 of the mesmerizing eye pods. And today, at this point, I have 1 quad that I got in the Missouri box, and that is in my declutter bin after like 1 use. So to me, the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows, the quads, and also the big palettes are, and I hate to say that, they're not worth it. You are wasting money, like let me tell you that, because a quad from Charlotte Tilbury retails, depending on the formula kind of, around €50, sometimes even more. I think that Celestia per one was 56, or would retail for 56, which is ridiculous. Like, let's be honest. The only quads I can think of that are more expensive are Pat McGrath one, and if you are a quad girl, or boy, whatever, go for a Pat McGrath quad because I think the quality is much better than in Charlotte Tilbury. In my opinion, unmatched quality are the mesmerizing or Ice to Mesmerize iPods, the cream shadows. I don't have the cream shadows anymore, just let alone for the fact that I'm not a cream shadow girl. Like, I never used these, so somebody else who uses these has much more fun with them than I have. But they are great. Like, they are really, really good, and I highly recommend these. So these are all the like bronzer slash face palette things that I own from Charlotte Tilbury. I think the most iconic one that I heard of even before TikTok is this guy. This is the Film Star Bronze and Glow. This is the light version. Yeah, the light version. They do also have a medium one that is a bit darker. This is an iconic makeup product. Like, I think everybody at this point has heard about this one. I also have the normal airbrush bronzer, and this is a huge beast. And as you see, this is the only bronzer that I've hit pan on. But to be honest, it's not that hard to hit pan on because this huge pan are only 8 grams. So it's not like a lot of product in height. It's more like spread it out in a big pan. And there are also 2 face palettes that I own. I think overall she has like 4 or 5 different face palettes, and these will set you back €75. So the first one that I ever got was the Nude Gasm face palette, and as far as I know, this one is not available anymore. There you get a highlighter, a blush, and 2 contour shades, and this got a lot of critique for the 2 bronzer contour shades, but actually even I'm very fair, I can use both. Like, I used this one first, and then I used this to deepen up like the hollowest part of the cheek area. And the other face palette is from last year. This is the Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette, where you get 2 highlighters and 2 blushes. I think just for the iconic status, I'm using the Film Star Bronze and Glow. By the way, there is also a mini version of that. So if you don't want to pay €65 for a duo of contour and highlight shade, you can buy a mini version of that. That is like around €30 or €40. Iconic products need iconic brushes. So I'm going in with a NARS Ida brush and basically just carve out the cheekbone. So the highlighter is not to compare with the new Face Architect highlighters. This is a very subtle version. Like, this is just a glow from within product. But I want to have like boom in your face, so we're going to use another highlight. Besides the blushes in the face palette, she also has single blushes, and these are the nipples. If you don't know why these are called the nipples, no, but these are the cheek to chic palettes. This one is the shade Love Glow, and this is Pillow Talk. And today I'm using Love Glow, and I really like this formula. They advise you to like swirl around the edges for the blush and go in the center for the highlight, but you know what I do? That. These blushes are so pretty. And this is one of the few items where I actually don't think that Pillow Talk is the most beautiful shade. I love Love Glow much, much more. So now for highlighter, as I said, besides the one in the face palettes, I also have 3 single ones. This is also from the Pillow Talk line that was launched together with the face palette. This is the Pillow Talk Multi Glow Beautifying All Over Glow Highlighter in the shade Romance Light. And as you can tell, I have used the crap out of this. This is such an awesome highlight. The only thing I have to criticize is that over here, here in this darkest shade, there was a glittery overspray. We don't need that. And the newest ones are the Face Architect highlighters, and I do have the shades. I have Moonlit Glow and Champagne Glow. This is a bit more warm, so we are going in with Moonlit Glow today. And it wouldn't be a Charlotte Tilbury video if we don't use one of her brushes. She has brushes, like a couple, but this is the only brush that I have. This is the highlight and contour brush, I think. The powder and sculpt brush. I think these retail all for around 30 to 50 euro, and I actually don't think they're worth it. Like, the brush is completely fine, but especially for this purpose, like a Real Techniques setting brush that is like this iconic dome shape does the job too. The Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, I think, is one of the most known products from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is actually my favorite setting spray. It used to be the Urban Decay All Nighter, but this is much better. But since I only have open one setting spray at a time, I'm not using this. This is from my backup drawer. I'm using the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip today. I look like somebody poured a pan of grease over my face, and I'm living that. I truly do. So in the Charlotte Tilbury line, there are two mascaras. First of all, the Full Fat Lash. This one I got in the mystery box. I haven't tried that yet. And one of my personal favorites is the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes. This is... It's a close tie with the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes. These two mascaras are my holy fucking grail. But neither of these are open, so I will not use a Charlotte Tilbury mascara today. I will use something else that I have open currently and I'm about to use up, because I do have so much mascara in my backup drawer. I don't want to open one now. So how do you feel about Charlotte Tilbury as a brand? I mean, we're not by the end of the video because lips are still left, but I thought let's talk about like your opinions. Do you like the brand? Do you have things from the brand? Because I have some critique, to be honest. It wouldn't be, as I said in my video, if there was no critique. But talking and doing lashes is just the most, it's the dumbest thing that I've ever thought of. So let me just finish the lashes quick. You know those people who have like gaps in their front teeth? I do have a gap in my lashes because I ripped out, they're like gone. I see the little like remaining stumps of it, whatever happened. Okay, let's do lips. Lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. Can you name a more iconic product? Well, you see, everything from Charlotte Tilbury is kind of an iconic status. I don't know how she does that. Her lip liners are truly one of my... No. Her lip liners are my favorite lip liner formula. Like, nothing beats these. I have 4 shades of the Lip Cheat liner. Super Size Me, Pink Venus, Pillow Talk, and Iconic Nude. And my lips still feel hydrated from that lip oil. Charlotte Tilbury has a couple different lipstick formulas. There is the Kissing, the Hot Lips. I think Kissing is the more hydrating creamy one. But there are also these. These are the Matte Revolution lipsticks, and I have 2 minis and 2 full sizes. So the minis that I have are first of all Walk of No Shame, which is this beautiful deep brown shade with a red undertone. Then we have Supermodel. What a beautiful dark nude shade. Of course Pillow Talk, because Pillow Talk's just beautiful. And the newest one in my edition, also from the mystery box, is Cat Walking. And this looks like a nice true brown, but actually swatches super orange. And I criticized that in my unboxing of the mystery box, and someone on TikTok, was it TikTok? Yeah, I think it was TikTok, commented like, first of all, this emoji, like this one, and said like, oh no, it's just orange on you, it's not your undertone. Like, I know that. I know. But to me, this is not a nude shade, and that's just my opinion. So I'm still keeping it for now because I feel like there is an eye look that I could wear this with, but we're not using one of the lipsticks. I want to use the new lip blurs. So these are also part of the airbrush line, and I do have Pillow Talk Medium, Rose Blur, and Pillow Talk Blur. I used to have Honey Blur, but I sent that back because Honey Blur was straight up terracotta orange, and that had nothing to do with my undertone. That was orange on everybody. I think the classic Pillow Talk, and if you want to see my first impression on these, I do have a first impression video on my YouTube channel. I will link that somewhere there. And the lip blurs are basically, they're matte lipsticks, but moussey. If you know the Rare Beauty lip soufflés, they are very similar, but I like these more. Now I know what the texture reminds me of, because the texture is very different. It's not like the Rare Beauty lip soufflés. The texture is like the NYX matte lip creams. That's it. And they smell the same. They smell, they smell like vanilla frosting. Oh, I love that. I mean, look at that shade. I have to say that the Pillow Talk, the blur, is not the same Pillow Talk as in the lipstick. That's just a fact. They swatch completely different. But I still love these. In the Charlotte Tilbury brand, oh, let me take that off. In the Charlotte Tilbury brand, there are also like lip glosses. For example, there's the Collagen Lip Bath, I think are they called. Let me just look that up. What else she has? Makeup, lips, lip gloss. There's the Lip a luster formula and the collagen lip bath. The collagen lip bath is the one formula that I tried, and it was the worst lip gloss I ever had. The formula was okay. In my opinion, it was a bit sticky, like not sticky to a point where you couldn't wear it, but the worst part of these was the applicator, because it's heart-shaped and like nothing was stuck on it. Who approved that? And before we end that like whole brand review thing, first of all, I want to say that I think my face looks stunning, but there is finishing powder missing. And yes, I do use a finishing powder on top of everything, because a finishing powder is your last step of makeup. That's why it's called finishing powder. And I'm using the Chantecaille Perfect Blur one. I basically use this in the center of the face, between my brows, the chin, and like underneath the contour. Some people bake there, I make a line with finishing powder. As I already said, first of all, the birds have something to say too. And as I said, it would not be a me video if I had no critique. Charlotte Tilbury as a brand, no, I'm always talking about the brand, not the person, because we were talking about the person too. But the brand is, in my opinion, trying to be a luxury brand with a luxury price tag, but it's lacking luxury experience. And I say this by thinking of specific products in here. First of all, these new highlighters, they're stunning. The formula is to die for, but listen closely. Not only do they clack, even when you use your brush, the pan spins. Why is that, you may ask? See that little hole? Charlotte Tilbury is producing packaging where you can exchange the pans. So technically you could use, or you could buy one of these, pop it out once your pan is empty, and buy just the refill. Do we love that? Fuck yeah. Airbrush Flawless Powder, same thing, but not as bad. And now, the surprise part, the bronzer. Nothing. The only thing the bronzer does, actually, the pan spins a bit when you use your brush, but it's like secured better in there. I'm sorry, but you cannot charge people, what is it, 35, 40 euro? Of course I have to look that up because I can memorize a lot of things, but not everything. Oh! They're 48 euro each. Charlotte Tilbury so is charging you 48 euro for one single highlighter that has the packaging of kids makeup. What is wrong with you? This is not acceptable. And so many people criticize that. Like, everything I saw when these came out was like, the highlighter is fantastic, but the packaging. And that is something that is kind of everywhere throughout the brand. Just take these face palettes as counterpart, because they're plastic, yes, but they are so much better quality in the packaging. And they also, they cost you, I think, also 75. Let me look this up. Yeah, 75 euro for one of those face palettes. But you see that, first of all, you get 4 beautiful laid out products. You get the most stunning formula that Charlotte Tilbury has to offer, because these blushes are different than the single blushes. And the highlighter are the baked gelée formula. It's even better in the Nudegasm. You feel 75 euro in the packaging, you feel it while using. But I don't feel 48 euro in the highlighters, and that is, again, it's just not acceptable. Of course, positive vibes for the fact that she wants to make like more thoughtful packaging where you can exchange the pans, but work on your packaging, because that's not okay. Because there are brands who also work with that system, like Rosing, for example, does the same with the liquid blushes, but they do not rattle like a snake. Same as, in my opinion, with the eyeshadow quads, because one quad Let me look that up, but I think they are around €50 at this point. Oh, she raised the prices. The quads are €53. €53 for 4 eyeshadows. Put €9 on top and you have a Pat McGrath quad with better quality. It just feels so much more luxurious. She also has 6-pan eyeshadow palettes, the Easy Eye palettes. They cost €57. And then she still has the limited edition palette from 2021, the Smoky Eyes Are Forever. This has 12 pans, all grouped in like looks of 3 eyeshadows. I mean, the system is absolutely stunning. And this is €75. €75 for 12 eyeshadows. Well, it's like a better value than 53 for 4. The Eyes to Mesmerize pots are €32 at this point. She raised the prices. I paid 28 for one of those pots back when I had them. She also has eyeshadow sticks. If you're an eyeshadow stick person, go for these. These are really good. They truly are fantastic. They set down quite fast, so in my opinion you have to work quite fast with them, but they look gorgeous. Oh, and she also has the pop shots, the single shadows that came out last year. These are €30. €30 for one single eyeshadow. That's not even that good. I'm just saying it. One thing I highly recommend you to stay away from are the matte Eyes to Mesmerize pots, even though I myself did not try them, but just look up the reviews. Everybody is saying that these are like garbage. That's why I was a little bit like unsure about the matte blush ones, because I felt like, do we have now the same thing as the matte things, the matte Eyes to Mesmerize? But then I saw the first reviews and I was like, okay, I'll try 1 or 2 shades and then I ordered the other ones. Okay, that's all I have to say about Charlotte Tilbury as a brand. I hope you like the series. Tell me down below your thoughts on the brand. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Is there something from Charlotte Tilbury that I have to try? Oh, one thought about the skincare quick. I hate the skincare. I hate the magic cream, the eye cream, the mask, the whatever. I do though have the Glow toner that I haven't tried yet. But everything else I tried in the sample sizes, awful. Not worth the money. Like, not worth €100 for the cream. No. Buy Vaseline. It's better. But that's basically it for now. And if you guys like that, you know, stay here, follow me on the other social media, and then I will see you in the next one.